Hi Year 4, I thought today that we could maybe read the next Beowulf story together. So, I have got Beowulf and the Sea Hag. I hope you enjoy. As the night shadows fell over Heorot, Hrothgar and his queen escorted Beowulf and all the Geatish heroes to their beds, leaving the great mead hall in the care of the thanes of Denmark. They cleared away the benches and spread the floor with beds and bolsters, and, as they so often had done before, made a dormitory of the great hall. Out of habit, these warriors kept their weapons near to hand, always ready for war, their shields and hand swords at their sides, and on benches nearby their mail coats and mighty helmets and spears. Not one of them, though, expected any attack this night. Safe in their hall, so they thought, they fell asleep at once and slept soundly. It was a sleep that they would pay for dearly and soon. For Grendel had a mother, a murderous hag, as hideous a monster as her fiend of a son. Now she was bereaved and out for revenge, maddened by her loss, and she would be savage in her grief. With vengeance brimming in her soul, she came to Heorot in the dead of night. All the Danish lords fast asleep inside, each lost in their dreams. How quickly these dreams were turned into a sudden nightmare. She may not have had the monster strength of her son, but she was thirsting for blood as she came amongst them and powerful in her fury. The thanes quickly roused themselves from their slumbers, sprang at once to arms to fight her off, but they were not quick enough. She tore down Grendel's arm, that hideous trophy, but so precious to her. She snatched up the sleeping Aesir, Hrothgar's most favourite lord, and then, seeing so many swords raised against her, she made her escape. She had to be satisfied with this one kill. It was revenge enough for her. Away over the high moors she went in the darkness, clutching in her fierce embrace the bleeding Aesir, found her way back to the distant fen of the gorge herself on his flesh. How sweet the taste of vengeance was to this horrible hag. Meanwhile, all of Heorot was in uproar. Swiftly summoned to the hall, Hrothgar heard the dreaded news that Aesir was dead and gone, his beloved friend murdered. He called Beowulf at once. Who else would he turn to? Aesir could not be saved now. Not now. Not even Beowulf. That victory-blessed Geat could do that. But if anyone could destroy the demon monster, it was him. The wise old king, distraught with sadness, opened his word hoard and spoke his heart to the Geatish prince. Aesir was my hearth companion, my best and oldest friend. Side by side we stood in many a bloody battle, striking for our lives and for each other. And now he's dead, no more than a meal feast for the Grendel's bloodlusting mother. Last night, for us, you killed her son, tore the life out of him, and now she has had her grim revenge. I do not know, and I cannot tell you where she is gone to, but country people have often told stories of two such ogres haunting the high moors and mists. One of them, it is said, was more woman in shape, a twisted monster woman, they said, a giant of a creature, demonic and unnatural. The other they called Grendel, the fiend from hell that you so bravely destroyed. We thought at first that these were mere imaginings, stories told by simple people with simple minds. How wrong we were, and how bitterly we have paid for it. They never spoke of a father to this monster, though all of them have said he must be the very devil himself. But time again we saw a mother looming on the moor mists. None of them have ever dared to venture to this hidden place where the monster and his mother lived, for it is known to be a place of wolves, of wild moors, dark fells and perilous paths. Somewhere there, they said, a torrent of water plunges into the deep earth to make an underground channel that passes through the vaulting caverns. Here, these ogres have their loathsome lair. It is no distance from here, but no man of sense has ever ventured near the place. Even a wounded stag, hard pressed by baying hounds hot on his scent, would rather face the hound's tearing teeth than plunge into that bottomless stream. Sometimes I have heard these waters stir themselves into such a rage they swirl up into clouds, and the whole earth seems to weep in terror. I have no one else to turn to. If you dare, as you have dared before, then find this hideous sea hag, seek her out in her unlovely lair, and destroy her. I shall reward you as I did before with golden treasures from my hoard. My generosity will be greater this time, I assure you. Then Beowulf, Ecgtheow's noble son, replied, For a fighting man like me, daring is everything. How else will a fighting man be remembered if he does not dare? I cannot banish your grief, great king, but I can and will avenge your loss. Of that you can be sure. I shall quickly find where this hag of hell has gone to, and I promise there will be nowhere she can hide, no fold in the field, no ditch, forest or craggy cleft, no watery haven, nowhere. However deep she dives, I shall find her, and when I do, your revenge and mine will be swift and sure. So they rode out together, Danish king and Geatish hero, their lords and thanes beside them, their shield bearers marching alongside. It was not difficult to see where she had gone. Alongside woodland paths and over high moors, foul with fog, they traced her bloody steps, following where she had gone before, dragging her bloody victim. The trail narrowed between cliffs, and the path here was tortuous and treacherous. Up over the scree they went, then down again onto the fens, a haunted, dreadful place where no one could ever live, nor would they ever wish to. Sensing danger all around them now, Beowulf and his warriors went ahead to scout the land. They came then to a cheerless cluster of ash trees by a rushing stream that tumbled beneath a rocky crag, and beyond that they found a dark, deep lake, stained with blood, and all knew at once whose blood it was. Worse evidence was to come, for they saw left there on the edge of the cliff the most grievous sight. Ash's head. Stirred to new fury, they let out an eager battle cry, sounded the war horde loud and long, so that the whole world could hear their anger. Roused and enraged by the challenge of a battle horn, a giant sea serpent slithered to the surface. They saw now that the lake was teeming with them, and with countless strangely writhing water snakes too. This place was truly a home of monsters. Beowulf at once let loose an arrow, the iron tip striking home its mark deep into the serpent's throat. Other spears then rained down until the body of this wave lurker was dragged lifeless to shore. Grisly, grim and gruesome, no one word could describe this ghoul of the deep. Everyone there was happy to see him dead, I can tell you, but others were there, skulking in the shadows of the deep, waiting for Beowulf, waiting for a moment to strike.